It's common sense in that, you know, the bad guy, he wants an easy target. He doesn't want to risk getting hurt. He just wants to dash in, get it, and leave. It becomes a different game when somebody, the intended victim on the other side, is armed just like he's armed and can defend themselves.
Okay.
It makes for an even playing field, I think.
Okay.
You know the criminal's got the gun. The only people, if you think
We
about
only
it,
have 27. Are you doing
me,
the facts now?
you,
No, I'm
and
not.
most of the people in Maryland, we walk around all day long without any
Another
firearms.
conversation.
But you know for a fact, the criminal, he has it. It's in his possession.
Right. So,
Why wouldn't he?
so we don't have a lot, just knew that we would have enough time. We don't have a lot of time left. I wanted to talk with our viewers and our listeners just about a couple of facts that I have, and then I'll end it with a question for you, sir. And Ed and Melvin, I think, is on pause with us. So what I read was firearms are generally classified into three broad types. If no one knew, I didn't know this: handguns, rifles, and shotguns. Rifles and shotguns are both considered long guns. So that's just a fact. A semi-automatic firearm fires one bullet each time the trigger is pulled, ejects the shell of the fired bullet, and automatically loads another bullet for the next pull of the trigger, which means about those geese and stuff he was talking about. A fully automatic firearm, sometimes called a machine gun, fires multiple bullets with a single pull of the trigger. What I read, and I don't know how accurate this is that America has 6 times as many firearm homicides as Canada and nearly 16 times as many in Germany. America has 4.4% of the world's population, but almost half of the civilian-owned guns around the world. I thought this was really interesting and weird and scary. There have been more than 1,500 mass shootings since Sandy Hook. And on average, there are more mass shootings for each day in America. Wow.
What do you classify as a mass shooting?
Well, Las Vegas. There's a lot.
That's one.
That's one. I mean, I could Sandy Hook. That was a mass shooting. I could go back.
There's been probably 5 or 6 that have been publicized.
They've been publicized, which is a different. They have mass shootings all the time, apparently.
A mass shooting is 2 people or 3 people.
Okay, I got you. So here's my question. And
I mean, and when I say that, I'm not, human life is human life.
right, yes, sir.
But there's really, if you just sit down and rationally think about it, there is no way you can legislate and you can just pick and pick and pick, and everybody goes, well, no, we just want this extra gun law to prevent this, and there's people on the right that say, you know what, this is how it goes.
Right.
There's an old saying: how do you eat an elephant?
Okay.
You eat an elephant one bite at a time. So
Sounds like something the Dak would say, don't it? Sounds like something the Dak would say.
And I outlaw that, and I outlaw this, and I outlaw that, and I keep picking and picking. Pretty soon there's no more. And you quoted some of the state statutes.
Yeah, I tried.
The primary thing that you need, that I say, you need to, there's the Constitution that we have,
Right.
and that usurps everything. That's the law of the land. We need to follow that, and then, you know what? Each individual state, I think an individual state should make the laws concerning their firearms that they want to have, the rules. I think the states should just handle their own business.
Oh,
If
okay.
California doesn't think, if California wants to be a state that doesn't allow guns, well then California can do what they
Can
want
do
to
what
do.
they
I don't
want. Okay, you
care.
say it's individual. Okay, and so we don't have a.
No, the individual states.
The individual
The
state.
elected officials from that state is going to say this is the law, and the citizens have that opportunity
To vote on it. Okay.
Or move out of the state. I mean, everybody keeps looking to the federal government. Let the states handle
Let the
their
states
business.
handle it. What do you
They
think
know
about that,
exact-
JV?
The states know what they
That's
need
right.
to do.
Right, and so that brings
They know
me
what works for them.
that brings. Go ahead,
How
sir.
does the federal government make a one-size-fit-all law
You said
and
that
expect it
the-
to work?
Right, and so that's a really, really good point. And so on that note, do you think that gun control, I probably know your answer if you can be brief, we don't have that much time left. Will gun control be looked at differently after the Las Vegas massacre, do you believe?
Oh, absolutely, because you know, it's a political football.
Okay.
And
Oh,
they,
okay.
no matter where you go, what you live, there's going to be controversy. But the bottom line that I think is when you take the guns away from the law-abiding citizens and start restricting them, the criminals are not under the same restraint.
Right,
They don't
right,
have any restraints.
right.
And that's the issue.
And that's the issue. So we don't have a lot of time left. So I want to get into Millie's moments. I do want to ask this question, Nathan. I'm going to be honest with you. After our conversation, and we had a long one, I feel like this question just popped into my head. I'm going to ask it tonight. I'll ask you, and if you can answer in brief, and then we'll get to Ed, and Melvin still has us on hold, and that's okay. Then we'll talk to JV. Here's the question. And Millie's moments, I'm always having a moment about something. My question is, after listening to everything that you said, and even on the phone tonight, why are the states with the strictest gun laws have the most gun violence? If you can answer that briefly, and then we'll go on to Ed Farley, Melvin, and then JV, and I'm just curious. I'm having a moment.
You know, if you could, there's two ways you can look at it.
Okay.
Those states with that have the strictest gun control laws, the criminals have the guns. The average citizen that's a good, decent person doesn't have a way to defend themselves. And therefore, they're free to do what they want to do. I mean, we compare states and this and that, and for a long time, that's the stand your ground law that they have down in Florida. A lot of the people don't realize that the state of Maryland has a stand your ground law.
Oh.
And it's,
Okay.
yes, it specifically means that you as a citizen in your home
We
do not
discussed
have
that.
to retreat, and that you can protect and defend yourself as you see fit.
We just had this discussion,
Your
JV.
life or others are threatened.
See, we had this. We just JV and I literally, and you don't know him, but Daryl A. Carter. We just had this conversation, Mike, and so we are running out of time. Mr. Farley, what are your thoughts on the question?
My thoughts on this is that it's not the criminals that have the gun. It's any person that uses a gun other than
Hunting.
intent
Okay.
to protect themselves is a criminal. So it's not just the criminals have the gun. So if you
Okay,
use a
yeah.
gun other
Yeah.
than intent, you are now a criminal, regardless of if you never had any criminal activity in your life.
Okay.
So therefore, there should be stricter gun law. In the state of Texas, all you have to do is be 18 years old to purchase a gun.
No, handgun, you have to be 21. All states allow you to buy rifles at 18.
1 second. Oh,
Exactly.
what was the last part of 18? Nathan, did you just say it real quick? You said all 21.
Federal law allows an 18-year-old to buy a long gun. All handguns are a regulated weapon, and regulated weapons, you have to be 21 in all the states to purchase one.
Okay, continue, Ed.
It's the law.
Continue, Ed.
But you can't get them every month.
You know what, JV? Leave this man. Okay, you know what? Stop being so combative. It's kind of
Here
listening.
in the state of Texas, no permit is necessary for an 18-year-old to purchase a rifle, shotgun, ammunition, or any other firearm component. So an 18-year-old, they
An 18-year-old goes to war.
1 second, sir.
18-year-olds go to war in the Army, in the Navy,
Well, true.
in the military.
Go ahead, Ed. Finish up real quick. Wait a minute. 1 second, Nathan. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. So he can purchase a gun before he can have a legal driver's license, before he can get his drink
Or a drink.
legally.
Or he can drink, he can have a
purchase
gun.
handgun
Okay.
As he will.
Okay. Okay.
Go to school with it.
So we need to get to. We do have a limited time. We need to get to JV's thoughts. But one thought, JV, that I thought about is that it's still a lot of guns on the streets in DC, and anybody can get the guns. And one thing that Nathan told me, which it didn't occur to me, is that, if I get, they're getting the guns from family members and things of that nature and friends. Nathan, is that what you said?
Yep, friends and family give them. They can't go to a gun store. A criminal can't go to a gun store and get a gun. You can't cross state lines. A DC resident can't come into Maryland and buy a handgun, and a Maryland resident can't go into DC and buy a gun. A handgun. Long guns are a different matter. And the gentleman before was saying 18-year-olds. 18-year-olds have been going to war for the United States since Vietnam. If they're man enough to go to war and fight,
Right.
then I think they're man enough to be able to buy a long gun. If they can bleed and die for the United States.
Well, then that should be the requirement. They go to war first.
Now, if they're responsible enough
One,
to go to war,
one second.
they should be able to have that right. They're allowed to vote. They should have that right. They're an adult. And the other issue is, why doesn't, and depending on where you're at, when I was growing up in Montana, you could go to the little grocery store, and you could buy your handgun ammunition and shotgun shells to go hunting. And it was not uncommon. The first time I took my wife to Montana, we watched she saw some little kid riding down the road, and he had a gun slung, and he goes, "Oh, he's got a little pop gun." I said, "Susan, that's a 12 gauge.
Ooh.
It's coming to hunting season, and he's going to go hunting out in the wheat fields." And she goes, "Are you kidding him?" I said, "No. It's a different era. It's a different place.
Just because he
up
hunt
here.
country
It's
don't mean
different.
he's red.
In different areas, it's a different culture."
Wow. Well, you know what, sir? I just want to say on behalf of myself and Millie in the city,
Thank you.
we thank you so much
Yes.
for coming on tonight and basically changing my mind about a few things. I have to admit,
Yes.
I still hold true to the fact that I really don't want to be a gun owner. I'm like Millie. I'm scared to death of them. So that's just not something that I really wanted to do. But after tonight, I think it may be necessary.
I kind of want to go.
Go to a gun range and shoot one.
Okay.
Yeah, and people do that first.
You go there, and they have a qualified range master,
Right.
and they'll show you how to do it and how to shoot it safely.
Right.
And it may change your mind.
Right.
It's a tool. It's a tool that can be used for good or bad.
Yeah, yeah. I have a couple of comments. One, I actually I put up an article about this, that the NRA spends millions to push its guns agenda in Washington. Kind of got a problem with that. You know, I'm not real big on different groups, really pushing their agenda in Washington.
Oh, like the night show comedians in Hollywood pushing their agenda and all those.
Well, only because
their
it's
political agenda
only because it's the
on national TV and with the politicians.
yeah, only because
Everybody,
only
both sides have agendas, and I often ask people, why does the American Civil Liberties Union not take up any of these gun right laws and defend them, because it's part of the Constitution, and they're part of the Constitution. They defend everything else. Say tomorrow I want to charge you before you can make a public speech, you have to go get a license to show that the speech you're going to give is not going to harm or hurt anybody, and that you will have to be responsible, that if your speech does cause this problem, that you'll be subject to go to jail and be fined and the whole 9 yards. Your Second Amendment is the only right in America that you can lose permanently, and it's one of the few rights that you have to pay for, especially in the state of Maryland.
Well,
state of Maryland, you have to pay for that right.
I got one
That's
more.
the only right. All your other rights are given to you, and even a felon now gets his right to vote.
Well,
But he can never have a firearm. Ever. He's not
okay.
even allowed to touch bullets.
exactly.
So-
well, I just want to say that I personally, because of the issues of killing with guns, I just kind of had a little problem with that. But at the end of the day, I really wish we were back to freedom of speech just as much as we back to bear arms. That seems to be compromised a lot these days, but I'm not going to digress.
Digress.
But I will say this, sir, that after talking to you, I think maybe I might be a little more in agreement in being like Texas.
I think I want to go to the gun range.
I think at this point, maybe if we did become states that are able to be armed like the criminals, maybe there would be less crime on the streets and in our homes. Yeah. And so with that in mind, I have to admit, you definitely gave me something to think about, and that's JV's thoughts tonight. and
Love
that's real.
JV's thought. That's real. Sir, we really want to, we really don't want to know you've been at that store all day. And we really want to just say thank you. Thank you for talking to us. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to speak with us and come on our show. We are really grateful. And thank you so much, sir.
All right, not a problem. If you need to talk to me anymore, you've got my number.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir. You have a
thank you
great
so much.
evening. I'm excited because we're going to go right into, we don't have that much time left. We're going to go right into hashtag I can and hashtag I can't. There's a lot of things that have been going on in the entertainment industry everywhere. Everybody doing something. I won't even talk about Nelly, but if you like the subject, okay, great. Hashtag I can't. If you don't like it, hashtag I can't. Let's get started. JV, are you ready with the hashtags?
Yes, I am. Even though my phone is going dead, I'm okay.
Oh, that's fires. That's fires. I forgot. I missed the word. Fires.
All right. ESPN Jameel Hill over tweets.
I said fired. You didn't hear me. She
Oh.
got fired.
Oh, I did?
I did. I missed
My
it, and I
bad.
tried to say she got fired over her tweets. Why didn't Donald Trump
Okay,
impeach?
gotcha.
Okay. That's what we got. So why is Donald Trump not being impeached over his tweets? I digress.
Okay, great.
Hashtag I can't.
Yes. So as a hashtag, I can't for that one. All right. Mike Pence leaves Colts game after protest. Hashtag I can't. OMG. Don't get me started
Don't
with
get
that
me
one.
with. You
Please
know what? I
don't
got
get me
something for him. You
started
know I
with
love
that
this one.
Oh my. Yeah, boo. Like really? Like why is freedom of speech such a problem these days? But anyway.
Well, this should be
Okay.
exciting for you.
This congressman is filing articles of impeachment against President Trump.
wait, let me get it. Let me
Hand
get it.
clap. Hashtag I can.
Hashtag I can. What was his name? I forgot his name, but
I
that's
don't know,
crazy.
but I'll send it to you if you want to get it.
Okay, so we have a show next week and about are we just too racially sensitive? And this is why I say that, because Emmett Smith says, why is Cam Newton held to a higher standard than our president? Hashtag I can. Can I get another hand clap for Emmett Smith?